up, my friends? It's Kristen. Welcome to Flow into Crow. In today's class, we'll be exploring a variety of movements and poses that will help prepare us for our peak pose, Kakasana, or crow pose. So we're gonna get started on our backs. Right away, firing up the old core, so just go ahead and wrap your mind around it. Crow pose requires a lot of core strength, so that's one thing we'll be focusing on a lot in this class. I want you to lift your legs up, bring them into a 90-degree angle, stacking your knees over your hips and your shins parallel with the ground. And then go ahead and take your arms into a cactus shape out beside your face, palms face up. Root down through your low back. Take a breath in, drop your knees about halfway to the right. Keep anchoring through the shoulder blades here. And then exhale, use your core to come back to center. Good, now do that to the left. Inhale just about halfway down. You're not coming into a twist. Exhale back to center. Good, side to side here. Inhaling to the right. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale back to center. One more time, each direction. Inhale. Exhale. Good, last one. Inhale. Exhale back to center. And then keep your arms right where they are. Use your core strength to draw your knees into your chest. Good, from here, I want you to reach your arms up towards the sky. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, use your core to pull your head and shoulders up off the ground. Drive your forehead to your knees. Hold and squeeze. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your head, your shoulders, your arms. Soften through the core. Take a breath of recovery. And then we're going to get right back into it. Squeeze your knees down and into your chest. Reach the arms up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift and squeeze as high as you can. Make yourself tight into a little ball that you can. Hold, squeeze, breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Soften through the abdominals. Take a recovery breath. Getting right back into it. Don't get too comfy. Knees squeeze into the chest. Arms reach up. Breath in to prepare. And then exhale, lift. This time we're going to come into a reclined crow pose. So I want you to see if you can bring your knees to your triceps. And then flip the palms of your hands to face up towards the ceiling. Press upward into the air as you anchor down through your core. Lift your shoulders. Squeeze here. Shake if you need to shake. I certainly am. Hold for 5, 4. Do the work for 3, 2, 1. Release. We're going to do one more round just like that. Reclined crow pose. Take a breath in. Lift your arms up. As you exhale straight into it, crow pose. Press your palms up into the sky above you. Good, lift your chest, feel the upper back round, lift your head, squeeze and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing job. Take your hands to the backs of your knees. Start to rock and roll on your mat. Couple rounds like this, and then use your momentum to come all the way up and over, and we will meet in a tabletop. So in our crow pose, we also need to have really strong wrists. So we're gonna take a moment just to fire up the wrists, stretch them out a little bit too, increasing the flexibility. So what I want you to do in your tabletop, hips are stacked over your knees, shoulders are over your wrists. All your fingers should spread really wide. These are the same hands that you're gonna have in crow pose too. So just set them up right here. Press down, grip down through the finger pads. Anchor down through the first knuckles of each thumb and each finger. Good. Now from here, I want you to lift just the heels of your hands off the mat. And then set them down. And we're going to do that 10 more times, going pretty quickly. So here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now lift the heels of the hands. You're going to come all the way up onto the finger pads, so the palms come up also, and then set them down. Same thing, 10 rounds, a little bit quicker. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just for a moment, sit back on your heels, rotate your wrists. Nice job, switch directions. Give your hands a little shake out. And then come back into that tabletop, right back into it. This time, flip your hands around. So fingertips will point back towards the knees. If that is a little bit too much, you can take your fingers out towards the edges of your mat. And we'll take some rounds of cat-cow right here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart, look up. Exhale, round. Good, do that again. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart, look up. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round. Nice. And then come on to the tops of your hands. This time, fingertips will all point in towards each other. You're just going to take some gentle rocks side to side. This one can be really intense. If this is too much, tuck your toes under and just drop your hips back towards your heels slightly to take some of the pressure off your hands. Nice, and then coming back to center, go ahead and flip the hands back around to a neutral position. Fingertips point forward, press down through the tops of your feet. I want you to come back into that cat pose. So pressing the ground away, rounding your spine, drop your head down and in. And just hold here for a moment. Notice what you feel. A lot of the things that you're feeling here are going to be the same things you want to feel in your crow pose. So all that energy coming up through the hands. You're hollowing out your belly, sucking your navel up and into your spine, and you're doming up through your upper back. So you're broadening between the shoulder blades. Take a moment to really notice how this feels. Remember how this feels. And then gently release. Nice job. From here, we're going to take it into a high plank. Same positioning with the hands. This time you're stacking shoulders over the wrists and the heels over the toes. And it's the same thing here. I want a really active plank. Press the ground away. Draw on that energy coming up through the palms as you round through the upper back. Hollow out the core. Breathe in. Good, breathe out. Stay for one more inhale. As you exhale, set your knees down. Where they land will be behind the line of the hips. Now inhale here. I want you to shift forward, bringing your shoulders over the fingertips. We're going to practice chaturanga with the knees lowered to the ground. In your crow pose, you will want chaturanga arms. So as you exhale, you're going to lower yourself halfway. Gaze comes forward, chest stays lifted, elbows bend and squeeze into the ribs. Inhale, press straight back up. So we're going to do 4 more times. Exhale, lower halfway, squeeze the abdominals. Inhale, straight back up. You got it. Exhale for 3. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Inhale. This is work, you guys. Stick with it. Exhale, last one. Press up, and then just for a moment, child's pose. Press the hips back to the heels. Maybe you take your knees wide. Maybe you melt your forehead down to the ground. You can wiggle around or rock your head side to side. Find something restful here. Again, we're not going to be here for too long, so try not to get too comfortable. We got some more work to do. So whenever you're ready, meet me in a downward facing dog. Toes tuck, hips peel up and back. Take a moment to pedal out your feet here. And then let yourself settle into stillness for just a moment. Press the ground away. See if you can lengthen your spine all the way up through the tips of your tailbone. And then press your heels down towards the earth, softening through the backs of the knees. On your next inhale, you're going to deliver your right foot all the way up to the top of the mat, setting it down to the outside of the right hand. And we'll practice a really active lizard lunge here. Back knee's gonna stay lifted. I want you to press the ground away. Think cat-like spine here. Dome up through the upper back, hollow out the belly. Start to squeeze the right knee in on the right tricep. At the same time, create some resistance by pressing that right tricep or shoulder out into the knee and hold. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now just for a moment, release. Maybe set the back knee down. Maybe let that right knee fall out to the side. And then we're getting right back into it. Here we go. Back knee lifts. Puff up through the back side of the heart. Squeeze in on the tricep. Press out into the knee. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Rest. Just for a breath. Here we go. Last round on this side. Lift the left knee. Squeeze. Hold. Full body activation for 5, 4, 3. Keep squeezing. 2. Downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Right foot goes back to meet the left. We're going to take it right to side 2. Inhale, the left foot comes up to the outside of the left hand. Lizard lunge. Side 2. Right knee stays lifted. Fingers spread wide. Press the ground away. Feel that back body light up. Squeeze the left knee in on the left tricep. Simultaneously press that arm out into the left knee. Good. Create that resistance. Squeeze and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Right knee comes down. Left knee can go out. Round 2. Here we go. Let's keep moving. Right knee lifts. Activate. Squeeze and hold for 5, 4, gaze forward for 3, 2, 1, rest. Right knee comes down. Just for a breath. Last round. Here we go, right into it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it to your down dog. Amazing job. From here, inhale your heels high. Exhale to bend your knees, look forward between your hands, and then step or hop forward, fold at the top of your mat. Let your head go, give it some shakes, yes and no. Release any tension through the neck. Good, breathe in here, lift halfway, lengthen your spine. Pull your belly in here. Exhale, fold, let it go. Now root to rise, inhale, come all the way up, extended mountain pose, big full body stretch. And then exhale, fold back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Let your core pull you up. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms. Step back to your plank pose. And as you take your vinyasa, you can have your knees lifted or you can set them down again. Inhaling to shift forward. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, step your right foot between your hands, and then don't think about it too much. You're coming right into warrior 3. Shooting your arms forward, balancing on that right leg. Left leg is lifted. Core is tight. We're finding this counterbalance between upper body and lower body. Hips are level to the earth. On your next inhale, single leg Tadasana, arms sweep up, left knee lifts. Exhale, eagle pose. Left leg comes on top of right. Left arm goes underneath right. And then right away, we're gonna humble our eagle pose. So if you're struggling with the balance on this one, I encourage you to go ahead and kickstand the left foot on the ground. I want you to try to make this one more about the compression, the squeeze. Everything in towards the midline of your body. Skin to muscle to bone. Feel the shoulder blades broaden. That should be a familiar feeling now at this point in practice. Take one more breath here. Extended mountain pose. Unwind out of your eagle, reach up, big breath in. Exhale, fold forward over your legs, drop your head, let it go. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant your palms. Find your high plank on your in-breath. Shift forward. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left foot between your hands. Right away, warrior three. Just go for it. Hips are level. Little micro bend in the left knee. Arms reach forward. Spine is neutral. Core is active. Breathe here. Lengthen out from tips of the fingers to sole of the back foot. Now inhale, single leg Tadasana. Right knee comes up. Arms reach up. Exhale, eagle. Right leg on top. Right arm underneath. Right away, humble forward, bringing the elbows to the right knee. Kickstanding that right foot if you need to. And then just focusing on squeezing inward. Finding all that really deep compression. Good, opening up through the back body as well. Now inhale, release, extended mountain pose, big stretch up, maybe a little back bend here just to counter that. And then exhale, fold back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. One more time, take it to your plank pose. Inhale as you shift forward, knees or no knees. Exhale, low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. I want you to take your feet nice and wide. We're gonna come into yogi squat at the back of the mat. So walking your hands back. We have arrived at our peak pose and we're gonna get there via Malasana. So take a moment here, maybe bringing your hands into prayer, sitting tall through the crown of your head, maybe closing your eyes and just taking a moment to recollect, to regather your breath, to calm your mind. And then gently opening your eyes. As you lower your hands to the floor, you're gonna bring them shoulder width apart. First things first, look down at your hands, all the fingers spread wide, gripping through finger pads, rooting through base knuckles and heels of the hands. And then you're gonna lift your tailbone slightly to bring the knees into the triceps. Now from here, heels will start to lift up off the ground as you start to shift forward and bend at the elbows. Remember, think chaturanga arms. Gaze forward. If you gaze straight down, you more than likely will face plant. So gaze forward, find one thing to fix your eyes on. Now, before you go for a lift, press the ground away. Find that core activation, dome up through the backside of your heart. And then maybe from here, you just lift one foot off the ground. Take a moment to notice how that feels. Good, and then set that foot down. Maybe you lift the other foot off the ground. Notice how that feels. And then set that foot down. So you can continue doing that side to side. Maybe you get to the point where you're ready to try lifting both feet off the ground. Notice how that feels. Maybe they just come to a little hover. Maybe you start to squeeze your big toes together. Maybe you start to squeeze your heels up to your glutes. And then rest and recover. Awesome job. So wherever you are in this journey into crow pose is great. Put in the work. It's not a perfection, it's a practice. And so just by taking these little steps to get to the end goal, you're already there. You're already doing it. That's complete and worthy in itself. Maybe you get your crow pose one day. Maybe you never get your crow pose. That's not the point anyway, right? It's about the path that we take along the way. So once again, coming back into your Malasana, take a beat, find your breath, reconnect. We're gonna try one more round when you're ready. Hands come out in front of you, shoulder width. Fingers spread wide, energy in the hands. Booty comes up, knees to the triceps. Gaze forward, start to shift forward as you bend the elbows. Chest stays lifted. Puff up through the backside of the heart. Maybe one foot comes up. Maybe both feet come up. Maybe no feet come up. Breathe wherever you are. And then release. Back to Malasana. Maybe you have a seat. Maybe you take child's pose. Maybe you have the time and energy and continue to work on your crow pose. So wherever you are and however you would like to end your practice is perfect. Keep doing the work. Keep showing up. Thank you for joining me. This has been a lot of fun. I will see you next time. Know that the light and the love in me sees and honors the light and the love in you. Namaste.